Alright. We're almost at 7. Once it hits 7 o'clock, we're going to go right into this. This way there's no delay on the live stream once this saves and goes onto my YouTube page. I believe the audio's good, but Ryan's going to tell me if it's good or not. Alright, loud and clear. We're going to go right into it. It's 7 o'clock. First things first, we're going to go into the Big Four tournament this weekend. The identifier is D19. Again, your identifier is D19. That will be available here in 30 minutes on the Fishing Chaos app. If you go into the club area, your phone will be similar to my layout here. You'll have the clubs, you got your KBF, etc. Click on Kayak and Cats, scroll down, go to tournaments. You got your 12, 19, 20, 20, one day Big Four. And we're going to run through the format here. So far there are 4 anglers entered. Clint, Steven, myself, and Ryan. Clint Seeger, Stephen Murray, myself, and Ryan. And it's your biggest 4 fish over the entire day tomorrow. Tomorrow from 12:01 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. If any new guys end up signing for this and come about this, do your best to measure the fish, read the rules. If you have any questions or concerns, or if you're even vets, if you have any issues, please post your issues to the national page and send me a private message letting everyone know what your issue is. I will be fishing, so I might not be able to address it while I'm on the water, but if you let us know what your issue is during the tournament, we can then work backwards to have it fixed after the tournament. If no one knows what your issue is during the tournament, then we cannot help you out after the tournament. Let's see. Stephen actually already said it. I was going to leave him out, but Stephen Murray came down sick. He's not fishing, but he did ask us to leave his entry in there as a donation to the anglers. So thank you very much, Stephen. I was going to mention that. I was going to leave your name out since you asked me not to, but since you already said it, there we go. Thanks, Stephen, for the donation to the tournament. Current standings. December slot tournament for the national scene. Dan Scheide is in first. He has a big fish of 44.25. Let's take a look here. It's a hog. His total, it's 1 over 30 inches and 6 under. He has 203.25 inches total. Stephen Murray sitting in second with a 39.75 big fish. Very nice. And he is at 133. Clint Seeger's in third. Clint has been killing it, though. He has multiple fish over 40 and 38 inches this month. His big fish right now is 43.25. Very nice. He's sitting in third with 92.5 inches. Clinton Payne, 42-inch big fish. Very nice. It's a nice blue. And then you have myself sitting in last. We don't need to look at any of my fish because I'm getting my butt kicked. Let's move over to the regional slot tournament standings. We have Ryan Bortz of Blue Collar Fishing on YouTube in first. The regional standings, the tournament is 2 fish over 25 inches. That's the slot, and 8 fish under 25 inches. Ryan is in first at 213.5. Mark Bennett is sitting in second at 85.25. Dave McKinley in third with 2 really nice overfish, though, at 68.25. And there I am, again, in last, at 50.25. Bummer. Real quick, rules specific to our scene we want to go over. There's no limit to the tournaments. If you want to enter as many congruent tournaments we have going on at the same time, you can enter as many as you want. No more than 4 rods and 4 hooks in any combination. So if you have 3 catfish rods out, you can have 1 bait rod out, with, one hook per. There's going to be one exception here that I thought about earlier. This way, we can level the playing field. There are some states like Ohio that only allows 2 rods in a lot of the state, on the inland part of the state. At least those anglers have the option of putting 2 hooks per rod, so they can also have 4 opportunities to catch fish. It is still a disadvantage, but it's less of a disadvantage, which is nice. But we're also going to change it. If your bait rod, if let's say you're fishing and you come across a school of fish and you have 3 suspended baits down for catfish and you want to try and catch those bait fish are really hard to come by, especially this time of year. If your bait rod is a sabiki rig, we're going to count that for our purposes as 1 hook. However, any catfish caught on a sabiki rig cannot be submitted to the tournament for judging. That way we can still allow you to use a sabiki rig, because offense sells. People want to see fish caught. Offense sells. Good bait catches big fish, so I want you to still have good opportunities to catch the bait fish, because I'm almost positive all of us can have 3 hooks on a line. So if your sabiki rig has 3 hooks, you just can't submit any bycatch catfish to the leaderboard, but you can still use your sabiki rig, because we want the offense on the board. We don't want our tournament scene to be playing defense against the anglers. We want everyone to be playing offense. But we are going to rely on you to be honest. Don't use your sabiki rig to catch catfish, please. And if you do by chance catch one, please don't submit it. What else? We don't put catfish on a pedestal in this scene. You can consume and or use catfish as bait under 25 inches. We all use game fish as bait of all sizes. We're not going to pretend that our species is any more special than any other species out there. So also they're delicious. So catfish 25 inches and under you can use as bait and or consume them and keep them. Do not put them on the stringer and submit them in the picture. What else? New rule that will be implemented, and I actually kind of stumbled across this rule while I was fishing recently. You cannot fish within 100 yards of your own jug line, set line, limb line, whatever you want to call it, bank line. I actually went to film a video the other day. The bite's tough. I wanted to have a catfish dinner. So on my way down the river, I set up a couple limb lines, but then I realized this could be seen as a competitive advantage. There's nothing to stop somebody from dropping 10 jugs around their kayak and dropping 4 baits. So to avoid that, we're going to pull a rule in there. You cannot be within 100 yards of any of your own personal lines. As a YouTuber, I'm trying to grow and do different weird, wacky things to get people to watch my videos, which is why I was doing it. But at the same time, I also don't want anyone to think that, we're trying to gain a competitive edge by doing things like that. 2021 Catfish King. Let me just click around places here so it's not the same boring background. 2021 Catfish King. The way that's going to work is the top 2 from every single tournament that we host, regionally and nationally, will qualify for the Catfish King over the first 6 months. But they will be separate. You'll have a regional Catfish King and you'll have a national Catfish King. They won't be the same tournaments. And it'll be anything. So this way the Catfish King, it's going to be our Angler of the Year type thing. This way you don't have to be forced to fish the month-longs only to have a chance at being our Catfish King. If you place top 2 in any tournament, you qualify for a bracket-style tournament in the 7th month of the year, which will be July. And that bracket-style tournament will have random seeds. We'll draw it. That tournament will go over the month of July. And then the winner of that will be the first half Catfish King. We'll do the same thing for the second half. The top 2 in every single tournament qualifies towards the second half Catfish King bracket style tournament. And then the winner of both the first half and second half, if it's 2 different people, they will come together and they will decide what they want to do to face off in a 1-versus-1 showdown to crown the annual Catfish King. So we'll have a first half champ, we'll have a second half champ, and then if they're different individuals, they will decide with each other what style of tournament they want to do, how they want to compete against each other, slot, month-long, doesn't matter. And then they will battle it out to see who the annual Catfish King is. If they can't agree, it's going to be 5 fish, it's going to be a month-long, or it's going to be 5 fish, it'll be a weekend, and I'll decide it. So I think we'll be pretty good. I don't think we'll have any issues on anyone agreeing or not, or agreeing or disagreeing. And the national scene should have 18 different tournaments by the end of the first half of the year. The regional scene should have at least 12. And the tournaments for each half needs at least 4 anglers. If we don't have 4 unique first and second place finishers of 18 and 12 tournaments, we need to step our game up as competitors. So we'll put it that way. Upcoming tournaments, the first quarter. Okay, great. I can start doing this now. The first quarter of the year, they are all up. If you go over to our tournament scene, January month-long, February month-long, March month-long, they're all 7 fish. We want our month-long tournaments to cater towards people who are going to put the time in over the month, which is why we're going to have our 1 and 2 day tournaments every month. And we're always going to run a congruent tournament that requires a different skill set. I don't want to do an open and a slot, because an open tournament, if someone can sign up for both, their bycatch can literally win them both tournaments. You can target trophy fish all month, be registered for the open and the slot, and your bycatch from the open can literally win you the slot tournament. So our congruent month-long tournament is always going to be something relatively unique. For January, we're doing a 4 channel cat month-long tournament. But the uniqueness about it is the minimum inch has to be 24 inches next month for your channel cats. So it's 4 channel cats, minimum inch 24 inches. Now, one might say, well, you can use your bycatch of channel cats to win that tournament if you're also in the open. I don't think it's that easy. I live in a pretty channel cat heavy fishery, and to target 24 inches and bigger, I have to go specifically to channel cat waters. I might luck out into 4 24 plus inch channels over the month while I'm doing my regular month long, but there's a very good chance I wouldn't even hit 4. I tried this once in the other scene. I entered the channel cat tournament, never fished for them once. It was a 5 fish limit, I think, and I registered 1 to the board, and I fished like 5 of the 15 days of the tournament. So you might think that you catch a lot of channel cats as byproduct, but you really don't. They're just so annoying to most people that it feels like you catch them a lot more, and especially at that 24 inch and above range. In February we might be doing something different. This was decided by Clint Seeger and I, but we're going to let the community choose the future month-longs that are congruent to our open month-long. Let's see here. What else? Oh, also, in Q1, our in-person tournament is going to be the Bluegrass Catfish Bash. And this is going to be held at Kentucky Lake. Lyndhurst Family Resort is where the launch is going to be. You do not have to launch there. That is just where we will be launching. It's going to run from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., I believe. 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And it's going to be on March 27th. There's a link to the resort here. The estimated payout per entry is already there. I'm always going to try and link the estimated payout per entry. Here's the, on Google Maps, here's the resort. Our boundaries for this is going to be the 68 bridge and the 79 bridge. You do not have to launch with us, but you do have to launch between these 2 bridges. No excuses. You cannot go south of 79 ever, or you are disqualified. You cannot go north of 68 ever, or you are disqualified. We have to put boundaries in somewhere. Those are the boundaries that we decided to put in. This entire region is fishable anywhere along this. You have till 6 p.m. that day to get your fish in. If you're having cell phone issues, you have to be at Lyndhurst out of the water with a judge by 6 p.m. to be able to submit your fish in person by 6:30 p.m. You don't get till 6:30 to submit your fish if you're not in person at Lyndhurst. Somebody might say, well, that's not fair. That means I got to pull my lines out of the water earlier because I'm not getting reception here and I got to quit before other people. I don't care. We got to draw a line somewhere. That line is 6 p.m. period. And if you're having phone issues, be at Lyndhurst by 6 p.m. And if you're not there by 6 p.m., what stands for your board stands for the tournament. No ifs, ands, or buts. Let's go. Keep going. Fishing Chaos app. We've had a lot of really good feedback for the Fishing Chaos app. From the administration side, I cannot tell you how much I love this app. It has made my life 1,000 times easier. It's putting more money in your pockets. We have had some complaints from anglers, but the nice thing about this is every time I get any kind of complaint, I literally email the creators of this app directly, and they can go in and make adjustments on the fly, which is awesome. That wasn't necessarily the case with the other app. You know, I had no issues with them, by the way. I had that guy's number. I texted him if I ever had an issue. I realized my personal issues with TourneyX actually had nothing to do with TourneyX before. It was all the administration side that was frustrating. I'd never actually had a TourneyX issue once I realized this side of the deal. So I ask you and us, we're not going to be a scene that bashes TourneyX. I had no issues with them. Strictly a business decision to come over to Fishing Chaos. Less fees, more money in your pockets, and the abilities that I have are limitless. I can link all of your YouTube pages. We'll just go into the next thing about you guys. I can link your YouTube pages. I'm linking any kind of YouTube video that happens during a tournament that I am aware of. For example, the Thankful for Catfish tournament. Justin Johnson with Catfish, he fished it. I honestly think he's the only one who was able to make a video out of it. Now that I don't think anyone else actually made a video. So if you go in and YouTube videos made with other anglers in this competition, you can click on this link right here.
Yes, and it's a good idea.
There he is, fishing in our tournament.
Not only
so this is a great way to promote the anglers. And that brings me to like branding. I want our slogan to be for the anglers. There are a couple podcasts that I watch that I really love. The Pat McAfee Show, Dan Le Batard Show, Dan Patrick Show, Bussin' with the Boys. And a lot of their slogans are for the brand, for the boys. And what that means is they do everything for their people. So I want to kind of steal that, and instead of using for the brand or for the boys, we're going to use for the anglers. Because everything we do is for the anglers. We don't charge administration fees. We put polls up essentially for everything. The only thing we didn't do a poll was to switch to Fishing Chaos, but this was an administration item that had to be made, in my opinion. That's the only one we've ever had. So everything we do is going to be for the anglers. Decals, hopefully we get that on a decal, for the anglers on a decal, maybe with the Kayak and Cats labels on it. Speaking of decals, the boss is home. She can make it. It cost us $227 to get the cricket and all the materials. We're going to charge $5. I know I said $3.50, but we're going to charge $5 a piece just because it's going to be that much easier for me to track. There's no profit to be made. I'm going to track everything, full transparency. Everything's going to go on a spreadsheet. And once we break that $227, any excess cash is going to go directly into tournaments. I'm just going to dump anything we ever make in Kayak and Cats. We're going to dump all the excess cash into tournament pots. I don't think anyone's going to care since we're dumping the money back into the tournament scene. I don't think anyone's going to care that we're going to do $5 instead of $3.50. She's going to be making some this weekend. She was in Florida. Unfortunately, she had a family member pass away, so she was in Florida. I had the Rona. This weekend is the first weekend we can actually get together and work together on this. So, yeah, that's all I really have. I promised myself I would never be one of those shills who sells out and just, constantly posts about sponsors and stuff. So I wore this costume. So, it's not me doing it, it's the costume doing it. But yeah, wait, I don't even remember when I put these on. That's all I gotta say, so I'm out of here. Any questions, hit me up.